Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 14, The Forest of Enjoyment, text 37. Although people may be enemies, in order to fulfill their desires again and again, they sometimes get married. Unfortunately, these marriages do not last very long, and the people involved are separated again by divorce or other means. So Shukadeva Goswami talks about how even the bond of marriage can break. And Srila Prabhupada includes also how even the friendship between devotees of ISKCON can break. So let us study this and see how to avoid it. We see that if people are associated with each other, or if they get married in order to fulfill their desires, then that is not a good proposal. That is not a good basis for a marriage. For the simple reason that if I am involved in fulfilling my desires and you are involved in fulfilling your desires, and our association or marriage is purely for the sake of fulfilling desires, then we forget that each of us has a whole spectrum of desires. And then in that spectrum of desires, there will be some conflicting colors. So when these conflicting colors come to the fore, then you have separation, quarrels, separation, and divorce. In the beginning, of course, you feel this feeling of enjoyment by the desires getting fulfilled. Scientists will talk about some parts of the brain getting some chemicals due to which they get this feeling of enjoyment. But then, by repeatedly getting these chemicals, ultimately the brain stops responding. So perhaps this is the reason why fulfilling the desires of each other, two friends or husband and wife, if that is the basis of their relationship, after some time it doesn't happen, and then there is divorce and separation. So what is the solution? That this should not be the basis. So the basis of friendship or marriage should be Krishna, a higher goal. There has to be a higher goal. In the non-devotee community, the higher goal is to raise a family, to please the parents of husband and wife. That is a higher goal. So nowadays, this question of pleasing the parents of husband and wife, some of the leading edge youth who are more westernized, they don't want to do that. They say, no, this is for myself. And then as far as raising a family is concerned, some of the leading edge youth, they don't want any children. So these higher goals are themselves reduced. But even these higher goals are only temporary, because ultimately you cannot please your parents all the time by getting married. So that will stop. And if raising the family is only purpose, and then you start having children and face all the problems having children, then that purpose also gets defeated. So there has to be something higher than that. And what is that? The highest of all is to serve together and please Krishna. That can be the only basis. So that is why we appeal to all the youth and the parents of the youth that please get married on this basis, most preferably to a devotee who's equal in advancement to you, or yes, equal in advancement to you is better. In the case of girls, they can get married to a man who's more advanced than them. That is also okay. But if that is done, then the Krishna consciousness is there at the center. Not only that, for all those who are connected to Mathura Desh, myself and Prem Padmini, we are there available to counsel you. And therefore, even if you face any problems, we are always available to help you overcome those temporary problems. So please ensure that your first priority is a devotee. You consult us and we will find a suitable devotee. And even if somehow there is some non-devotee girl getting married to a boy, not a non-devotee boy getting married to a girl, is again more dangerous. Please consult us before agreeing, before getting engaged and so on, so that you should have a different point of view, not just the parents, not just the children, but people like us who are your well-wishers. We can give you a neutral point of view. So then, if the marriage takes place on this neutral point of view to serve Krishna, then the chances of success are 99.9999%. Similarly, association with devotees. We make friendship among devotees. It should be for the higher purpose of serving Krishna. For example, we are creating these apps groups and sending our classes to maintain the bond among all those who have had faith in us in Mathura Desh and in other places, so that this should be the basis of your friendship among each other also, that you all have faith in us and in Guru Maharaj and in Srila Prabhupada. So then the friendship is proper. Sometimes we find that some devotees, they don't want the tough messages which may be tough for them, because we'll always be talking about their advancement. So they want to just enjoy. So they have an enjoying relationship with other devotees. They associate more with devotees who will not ask them, how are you doing? And you must advance this, that. So they avoid our company sometimes, and then they just try to enjoy with each other. So that is not a good basis. That is what we learn from this verse. If you have that kind of basis, then that will fall out, because you'll stop enjoying each other, because that higher goal of serving Krishna you have neglected. And therefore, the friendship should all be done in this way, through Srila Prabhupada, through Guru Maharaj, and through us, for all those who are connected to us. And everything will be successful and nice. Hare Krishna.